It's time to talk about our blonding options. Keune has so many different options for you, from high lifts to bleach alternatives to powder lighteners. Really, we have a product for anyone that's sitting in your chair to get them from dark to light. So let's talk about them so that you know how to use them, why to use them, and when to use them. First, I want to give you a little recap on where they're located in the swatch book. Our Ultimate Blonde category is on the third page of the swatch book, and it'll start out with two of our high lift options, our lightener hybrid, and then our oil-based lightening paste. So you won't find our powder decolorizers inside the book, but you will find instructions for them on the back of the book. That's where you'll find more information on our high lifts, our bleach alternatives, into our powder lighteners. So you'll see the product listed across the top, and then underneath that, you're going to find all the information on how to use them and who to use them on. So let's start with our high lift options. Starting out our high lift category is our Special Blonde 1000 series. This series can be found at the very top of the Ultimate Blonde category, and it is designed for natural hair to give you 3 to 4 levels of lift. You can use this series for highlighting, you can use it for balayaging, you could use it for all over coloring if you'd like. This is a great high lift option, again, to get you up to 4 levels of lift. So it is designed for natural hair. We do recommend using 30 or 40 volume with it. The processing time is 40 to 50 minutes, and the mixing ratio is a 1:1. You do have a few different options based on what you're starting with and where you want to go. So let's talk about the different options within your 1000 series. Starting out with your 1000 will give you up to 4 levels of lift on natural hair. It has all zeros after it, so know that it has no tonality in it. So there will be no neutralization of tone. If you're looking to lift and tone natural hair, you have the 1001 option, which is an ash, 1012, which is ash pearl, 1032, not going to offer as much neutralization, but it is going to deposit a beige tone, and then 1038, which is a gold and mocha tonality. So you do have different options depending, again, on where you're starting and what you want that end result to be. If you're looking for gray blending options in a high lift category, you can use our 1032 and 1038. 1032 will blend up to 50% gray, and 1038 will blend up to 90% gray. You would still follow the same mixing ratio, which is 1:1, and you would still follow the same developer, which is 30 or 40 volume. And processing time, again, is 40 to 50 minutes. I like using the 1000 series for a mid-light on highlighted hair. So you have your highlight, which maybe is a decolorizer, your mid-light to kind of bridge the gap between your highlight and then your low light. So this offers a beautiful transitional color from that light to dark when you're doing it in a highlight. These are also great for some of your younger guests that come in that have virgin hair that are looking just for a little bit of lightness around the face or brightness through the ends. This is a great option without having to go to lightener to still get tone and lift. If you're looking for a product that has a little more lift than our 1000 series, you might want to look at our 1500 series. It is located right below our Special Blonde series, and you have 4 different options. So our 1500 series is a high lift blonde series as well, but you are able to achieve up to 5 levels of lift on natural hair. This is also great for balayaging, highlighting, all over coloring, or one of the shades is great for gray blending. So this is a second option within our high lift blonde category. So you can get, again, up to 5 levels of lift on natural hair. We recommend using 30 or 40 volume, and the processing time is 40 to 50 minutes. So our mixing ratio is 1:2 with our 1500 series. And this is really the first category that we've talked about a change in that 1:1 mixing ratio. So Keune has made it super easy though. On the box of color, it has a red square that lists 1:2. So 1 part color to 2 parts developer. That's also listed on the tube of color itself. So when this goes in the recycling bin, you still know that it's 1:2 because it's written on the tube. So 1 part color to 2 parts of either 30 or 40 volume. Your options within the 1500 series really depend on where you're starting and where you're trying to go and how much neutralization you're looking for in your end result. So your first option is your 1511, which is an ash. So this is going to help neutralize those warmer orange tones. Then you have 1517, which is an ash violet, so really working on those orange and golden tones. 1519, great for the darker guests. This has an ash and green tonality, so this is going to offer the most neutralization on the darker levels, and then not offering as much neutralization, but a beautiful deposit of gold and ash is our 1531. So again, depending on what you're going for would depend on what shade you pick. These are totally intermixable within the 1500 series range. And I don't know if I mentioned that, but the 1000 series also is. So you can intermix your 1000s together, intermix your 1500 series together to customize the lift and the end result that you want for your guest. If you're working on gray hair and you're looking for a blend, you can use our 1531. This will blend up to 90% gray, and you get a beautiful, like I said, golden ash tonality for an end result. So if you're looking for a little bit more lift than a 1000 series, you have the option to go to our 1500 series and still stay within that high lift category. These are probably some of my favorites to go to just because a lot of my guests are a little bit darker. So 1000 series isn't always going to get me to where I need to be, but the 1500 series usually does. So again, this is one that I'll build in as a mid-light, or if I can get away with just doing a 1500 series shade for all of my lightness so I don't have to worry about toning afterwards. Up next, we have one of my favorite products within the Tinta color range, and that is our Tinta 2000. And it is one of my favorites because it is good for so many different things. So let's talk about it. Tinta 2000, or Super Blonde as its name, is a lightener alternative, meaning it can work on natural hair or color treated hair. So it has the ability to lift through color treated hair just like it has the ability to lift through natural hair. The beautiful thing about this is it is a controlled lift. So unlike a lightener that can lift at a faster rate, sometimes faster than what we needed to, 2000 has the ability to have a slow lift, so I'm able to control it so that I'm not lifting past where I need it to be. So that's one of the reasons that I love it. You can use Tinta 2000 with 10, 20, 30, or 40 volume depending on what you want your end result to be. If you're working on color treated hair, I would suggest 20, 30, or 40 volume. If you're using Tinta 2000 as a direct dye removal, you would probably use it with 10 or 20 volume, and we're going to talk about that more in just a minute. The mixing ratio is 1 part 2000 to 1 part of your developer with the powder booster packet that comes in the box. So this is a box of your 2000. Within this box, you're going to get a tube of color, you're going to get the directions, and then you're also going to get 2 of these powder booster packets. So these powder booster packets get added into the bowl of your 2000 and developer. No extra developer needed for the powder booster packet. These are really important if you're looking for the full amount of lift, which is up to 5 levels. Or if you're working on color treated hair, this is a must in there as well. If you're using 2000 to remove direct dyes, so we do position our Super Blonde 2000 as our direct dye remover, you would not add this powder booster packet into your bowl. So this is a boost in alkalinity that has persulfates in it. And usually persulfates will drive a direct dye into the hair further. So when we don't add this in there, we have the ability to just lift it straight out of the hair. So 2000 is great for, again, so many different things. So I'd mix 1 part of my 2000 to 1 part of my developer and add in my powder booster packet. If I'm using a full tube amount, I'm going to use both powder booster packets. If I'm using a half a tube or 30 grams, then I'm going to use 1 powder booster packet. Processing time is up to 50 minutes. So the beautiful thing about the Tinta 2000 is it's like a lightener is because you have the ability to take it off before 50 minutes. So at 20 minutes, if it's the right level that you're looking for, go ahead and shampoo it off and follow up with your after color program and your toner if needed. If you need more lift, you can always leave it the full 50 minutes. So you have a couple different options for timing depending on your end result. So what do I like to use Super Blonde 2000 for? That's a great question. I like to use this on top of color treated hair. So I want you to think about that client that we were talking about a little bit ago that has gray hair that likes the 5 and 535 combo for her gray coverage. If that guest just wants a little bit of brightness around her face, I can easily take Tinta 2000 with my powder booster packet and over top of color treated hair. I'd probably use 20 or 30 volume in this case. I could either hand paint it onto the hair where I want to see lightness, or I could put it in a foil. I can do that as soon as I've got her gray coverage formula on. Again, because it is more of a controlled lift, it may take 30 minutes for it to come up to the level that I'm looking for. The great thing about doing 2000 over top of color treated hair is it will lift with the same tone that's in the hair. So it will reflect some of those same 0.35 tones as it lifts. If I'm only looking to get her about 2 levels lighter, I'm going to have a beautiful brightness of like a 7.35 around the face, where the rest of the hair is at 535 and 5 combo. So I love using it for color treated hair. It's also great to use on fine or skinny hair, fragile hair that you might not feel comfortable using a decolorizer on. 2000 is a gentle and great alternative to using a powder lightener or say another decolorizer. So that is an added option. We talked about you can use it for direct dye removal. You could use this for color corrections. There are so many things you could use this for. Any way that you would normally use a lightener, you could use 2000. Just know that the lift and the speed of it is just slower than a powder lightener. You'll notice there is a little note at the bottom of this page that says it can be used with a cool booster. So we've mentioned the cool boosters before, but we really haven't talked about them. So let's take a little closer look at our cool boosters. On the bottom of that third page in the key where we talked about the red and cool boosters, you'll start to see in our Ultimate Blonde categories a little blue bottle next to some of our shades. That is your cool booster. This is what it looks like. Cool boosters can be added into your formulas when you're looking for neutralization during your lift. So Tinta 2000 has no tone when it lifts just by itself. But if I wanted it to neutralize, I could add in a cool booster. So this is a direct dye that has the ability to neutralize as it lifts, turn my Tinta 2000 into a lightening and toning product. So again, anywhere where you see our cool booster in the swatch book, know that you can add that in for neutralization. 1 per 30 grams of color, 2 for a full tube amount or 60 grams. So play around with it, use it. I guarantee you're going to fall in love with the many possibilities of Super Blonde 2000. All right, moving right along, let's get into our decolorizers. Starting off first with our Ultimate Blonde 3000 series, which is our Ultra Blonde. You'll find this in the swatch book at the very bottom of the Ultimate Blonde category. So we have 3000, which has no tonality, 3011, which is an ash, 3017, which is an ash violet, and 3025, which is a pearl mahogany. These can all be intermixed together. So the 3000 is great if you're looking to dilute down some of the tone or intensity of the other shades. You could add 3000 into those. Or if you're just looking to lift without tone, you could use the 3000 then as well. So again, depending on where you're starting and where you want to go, you've got some options within your 3000 series. This is an oil-based lightener. So you would use these just like a regular lightener. You can get up to 6 levels of lift on natural hair and up to 5 levels on color treated hair. The mixing ratio is 1:2, and that is stated on the box. So you will see on the tab at the top that red box that lists 1:2, so 1 part of your 3000 to 2 parts of your developer. Now we've got a couple rules when it comes to developer with our 3000 series. If you're using it on the scalp, we recommend 10 or 20 volume. If you're using it off the scalp, so say in foils, balayaging, or color correction, you can use 10, 20, or 30 volume. We don't recommend 40 volume with the 3000 series. Because 30 and 40 volume lift so closely together, we recommend just going with 30 volume and not bumping it up to 40 volume. Processing time is up to 50 minutes. So again, because this is a decolorizer, if it's at the right level that you want it to be at 20 minutes, go ahead and take it off. If you're still looking for more lift, know that it can lift up to 50 minutes. This is great for highlighting. If you're used to doing a bleach and tone on the scalp on a guest, you could use this in place of that bleach and tone. Depending on what their starting level is, you might not have to tone afterwards because of the neutralization of the 3000 products. You can also use this for color correction if you're trying to lift out darker dyes and have neutralization of worn tones as you do it. 3000 is a great option for that as well. And that takes us to our powder lighteners. So we have a couple different options within our powder lighteners, but they all have a few things in common. So let's go through how to use them first. So the mixing ratio for all of our powder lighteners, which come in canisters like this, is 1 to 1.5. So 1 part powder to 1.5 parts developer. And it's so important that you follow this recommended ratio because it's going to give you the maximum amount of lift that that product offers. It's going to give you consistent end results with your lift, and it's going to prevent any swelling or moving of that lightener in a foil or if you're doing it on the scalp. So we do recommend weighing out your powder lightener to a 1 to 1.5 amount. We do recommend using your cream developer. And I don't know if I showed you a bottle of this earlier, but this is what our cream developer looks like. So again, depending on what product you're using and how much lift you're trying to achieve, you would pick your developer based on what you want that end result to be. Processing time for all of our powder lighteners is up to 50 minutes. So if it's ready before that, go ahead and take it off before 50. If it's not at the right level at 50 minutes, say you're working on really dark hair or on a color correction, at 50 minutes, if it's still not as light as you want it, but you still want to continue with the lightening process, just simply wipe off the old product. Don't rinse it off. Just take a clean towel or paper towel and wipe off the product. Go mix a fresh batch of your lightener with a lower developer and reapply it directly onto the hair. Because that hair is already in that high alkaline state, the lift will actually happen faster when the second or fresh batch of lighteners applied to it. So you can just continue on that lifting process. You can use all of our powder lighteners on or off the scalp. So you can use them in foils, on the scalp, balayage, whatever it is, we have a lightener for you. So up first, we have our cream blonde. And cream blonde is great for getting up to 7 levels of lift on natural hair. You can use it with 10, 20, 30 volume, 40 volume is possible, but not advised. This is our cream blonde. So you'll notice as we go through them that they all have a different color coded strip to help you identify them. They also all come in refillable canisters, so you can order refill packs to drop right into these. So keep your containers and just order refill packs. So cream blonde is great for a nice controlled lift. So for up to 50 minutes, cream blonde lifts consistently. So you'll get the same amount of lift in the first 5 minutes as the last 5 minutes. So we like to refer to our cream blonde as our workhorse. This is great for highlighting. This is great for balayaging if you want to. Cream blonde to me is always my go-to because it just gives me that consistent and steady lift that I'm looking for on the clientele that I have. So you'll also notice that it has a symbol on the side of the packaging, and it says our integrated bond fuser technology. Wherever you see that symbol, know that it has a built-in bond building system in it to help protect the hair during the lifting process. That's made up of L-arginine and glucose, so it's designed to go in there, protect the hair, preserve the hair, and then treat the hair as you continue to lighten. So again, anywhere where you see that symbol, know that it has built-in bond building system in it. So that is our cream blonde. It has wheat proteins in it and a bisabol in it, so it's going to, again, help strengthen the hair as you lift. If you're looking for a faster lift, so that cream blonde was up to 7 levels. If you're looking for a faster lift or working on coarser hair types, but looking for the same amount of lift, then you have the option to switch to Magic Blonde. And Magic Blonde, again, gets you up to 7 levels of lift. You can use 10, 20, 30 volume with it. 40 volume is possible, but not advised. But you can get 7 levels of lift with Magic Blonde. It's just a little bit quicker. So we like to think of Magic Blonde as our racehorse. So you get a little bit of the quickness in the first 20 minutes, and then it gives you a consistent lift for the remaining 30 minutes. So Magic Blonde is great for, again, if you need a slightly quicker lift. Or the way I like to use is if I'm working on coarse types of hair or curly hair that tends to be resistant to lift, I will go to Magic Blonde because it has that extra oomph in it. So again, this could be one for quickness or just different hair types that are more resistant to lift. Magic Blonde might be your go-to for that. Cream Blonde is a white powder where Magic is a blue powder. The blue offers no neutralization. It's just a difference in tonality. So this is one that I would suggest wiping off before rinsing to make sure that it's at the level that you're looking for. Up next, we have Power Blonde. And Power Blonde is our strongest decolorizer. It can lift up to 9 levels on natural hair. So this is great for your darker guests. Anyone really 5 and darker is a prime candidate for Power Blonde. You'll also see that it has the integrated bond fuser symbol on the side of it. So it is going to protect the hair during the lifting process, help protect those bonds and repair those bonds if there's any broken bonds from before. Because of that, we do recommend not adding any other bond building system into Power Blonde. So if you wanted to, you could add Bond Fusion, which is our bond building system in the Cream Blonde and Magic Blonde. We just recommend using Power Blonde by itself. If you need to do a bond building treatment with Power Blonde, we suggest doing it as a standalone treatment either before or after the lightening service. With Power Blonde, you can use 10 or 20 volume on scalp. Off scalp, you can use 10, 20, or 30 volume. So it does have a few limitations on what developer you can use depending on how you're using it. If you're using this in a foil, we do recommend checking about every 5 minutes. And we recommend if you're using it in the back of the head or where we pack a lot of foils in usually, to make sure that the product can breathe so that it doesn't get too hot in those foils. So Power Blonde, great for those darker levels when you're really needing those up to 9 levels of lift. So let's talk about the integrated bond fuser technology a little bit more. So you notice on Cream Blonde and Power Blonde, you had that integrated bond fuser technology icon on it. It's also in some of our other products like our Silver Savior shampoo, conditioner, and foam treatment. These products all have a neutralizing tone to them for at-home use for that guest to maintain that cool end result. And then you also can find our bond fuser technology in the After Blonde treatment, which is designed for back bar use to follow up a lightening service. And we're going to talk about that in just a little bit. So why do we need bond fuser technology? This is designed to create strong, resilient blonde hair. So this is going to travel into the hair and help repair and rebuild some broken bonds. So this travels into the hair, repairing and protecting any bonds that are in there that need strengthening to, again, get that strong, resilient end result. So what if we picked a product that doesn't have bond fuser technology in it? I can always add bond fusion. The only product that we recommend not adding bond fusion with is our Power Blonde, and that does already have the built-in bond fuser technology in it. You can add bond fusion to your color, lighteners, except Power Blonde, to your perms and your straighteners. So bond fusion is designed to also build and protect bonds. This is a 3-step process. Phase 1 and phase 2 happen in the salon, and phase 3 is designed to go home with the guest to prolong the end result of the bond fusion service. So again, this will nourish, protect, and repair bonds to give that strong, resilient end result. So we talked about 3 out of our 4 powder lighteners. So let's talk about the 4th right now. And that is our Freedom Blonde. This is our clay-based lightener. This is designed for hand painting and balayaging services. Freedom Blonde can give you up to 7 levels of lift on natural hair, and it does have its own dedicated developer. That developer is available in 10, 20, 30, and 40 volume. So when I mix my Freedom Blonde powder with my Freedom Blonde developer, I create the Freedom Fuse technology. The kaolin clay that's in the powder mixes with the sticky polymers that are in the developer. And again, that's where you get the Freedom Fuse technology. So what is it and what does it do? You'll notice that the mixture creates almost a skin-like film on the hair. And that skin protects the product inside of that and keeps it moist. Moist product means more lift. It also ensures that when I lay that hair down with the product on it, if I lay another piece of hair down on top of it, the product is not going to transfer onto the other hair. So I don't have to worry about using foils or a mesh or anything to protect the hair from transferring. So the Freedom Fuse technology is really designed to help keep the product in place and to keep the lift happening over that 50 minutes. So it does have an up to 50-minute processing time. And again, you can get up to 7 levels of lift on natural hair. If you're looking for the max amount of lift, you will want to go with the highest possible developer. If you're looking for less lift, you can go down on your developer strength. So we do have a few lightener support products that I want to talk about. And the first one is our Cool Booster. So we looked at this category before for the red booster, but now let's focus on the Cool Booster. And you'll notice above that there are a few different swatches that have that Cool Booster next to it. So you have your 3000, 3011, 2017, and 2000. So what our Cool Booster is designed to do, it is designed to take any of our decolorizing options and turn them into a lift and tone option. So these can also be used with your cream blonde, power blonde, magic blonde, and freedom blonde to again get lift and neutralization at the same time. So you can truly take any of our decolorizers and turn them into a lift and tone product. So this is a direct dye. It is a blue direct dye, so it is going to neutralize that unwanted warmth. If there's no warmth in the hair to neutralize, this could deposit onto the hair. So just be mindful of the level that you're starting with, how much warmth is there, as if you need a Cool Booster or not in your formula. So again, you can use your Cool Booster with 2000, the 3000 series, Cream Blonde, Magic Blonde, Freedom Blonde, and Power Blonde. We suggest adding 1 Cool Booster per 30 grams of product. So if I have 30 grams of Cream Blonde, I would add in 1 Cool Booster and then add in my 45 grams of developer. These are definitely something that you want to keep in the back bar, again, to help neutralize warmth when lifting. Up next, we have our Ultimate Blonde Neutralizing Spray. So this is designed to be used after the lightening service is complete. So this has violet and ash tonalities to it. This is going to help neutralize at a level 8, 9, and 10. The reason I would use this is if I was looking for neutralization after lifting without having to tone, if I was looking for a pre-tone before toning, if I wanted a cool end result, or if I wanted a cooler palette before applying a vivid shade. So there's a lot of different ways that you can use the Ultimate Blonde Neutralizing Spray. Now, how do I use it in the salon? After your lightening service is complete, you're going to do your 2 after color shampoos, towel dry the hair, look at the level, look at the tone, and assess what you want to do next. If the Ultimate Blonde Neutralizing Spray is a good candidate, go ahead and spray that onto the hair section by section and comb it through for even saturation. You can either leave it in for a more intense end result or rinse it out for a less intense end result. Once it's applied and rinsed out or left in, you can either apply your semi-color shade on top of it, your color chameleon shade on top of it, or if that's the last step, you can go ahead and use your after color balsam. So again, Ultimate Blonde Neutralizing Spray, great to have at your fingertips when you need that extra neutralization. This is just a back bar only product, so this is truly just for the stylist. So I just mentioned a little bit about what to do after a lightening service, so let's talk about it a little bit more. Once my lightening service is done, we do recommend following up with your after color shampoo 2 times. And the reason being is most decolorizers have a high alkalinity, leaving the hair in a high alkaline state. In order to get that hair back down to its natural resting place, we do have to do 2 after color shampoos, which again have a pH of 4. After that, we do recommend treating the hair. So if you're going to tone, we would recommend treating before that. You can use your Vital Nutrition mask, your Blonde Savior mask, or Vital Nutrition protein spray for this. You would after color shampoo twice, towel dry, apply your treatment product, Let it sit for the recommended 3 to 5 minutes if you're using the mask. If you're using the protein spray, it can be left in to apply your toner. You're going to rinse out your mask if you have a mask on, and then apply your semi-color toner or whatever your follow-up toner is. You are then going to apply your semi-color toner, let it process, rinse, and then apply your after color balsam or after blonde treatment. Because we're talking about lightening right now, we do recommend using your after blonde treatment. This is designed to follow up a lightening service. It has additional good things in it, like our bond fuser technology, to really treat and nourish that hair after it's just gone through the lightening process. If you don't have this available, you can always use the after color balsam. Both have that processing time of 1 to 3 minutes.